Hi, this is Josh with Retro TV One Tech, and today I'm going to be installing and exploring Windows 98 SE on this Toshiba 2805 S401 laptop. I featured this laptop in an earlier video when I installed Windows ME on purpose and enjoyed showing you how amazing this is. In fact, this is one of the best retro computers you can possibly get for retro gaming. So it's really amazing just because of all the specs and things, and you can kind of see the way it was advertised there. It actually does have a 15-inch screen, a subwoofer, all kinds of crazy stuff on here. So it's a Pentium 3 700, 128 megs of RAM, which is actually quite a bit at that time period. Of course, the DVD-ROM, all those types of things. So, and you can see the keyboard there, the little pencil eraser mouse buttons, all the things. And you can also see it up against my 22-inch desktop monitor just to get a feel for exactly how big it is. So if you want to learn more about this amazing laptop and why it's one of the best for retro games, you can watch my Windows ME installation video on this machine. But in a nutshell, it's got great graphics, it does stretch the display pretty well, and it has a really great Yamaha sound chip. So without any further ado, let's get right into upgrading this computer to Windows 98 SE. So first things first, I need to go ahead and change out the compact flash card that I used when I had Windows ME installed, and I'll keep the Windows ME installation on the compact flash card even though there's not much space on it. Can't really do much with it. Still kind of fun to play around with. Alright, I think it's just going to be easier to take the whole adapter out, even though I hate to have to do it since it was in there so nicely. But the nice thing about these compact flash cards is that you can keep them the way they are and kind of have different installations on different cards. They're not super easy to change in and out on laptops. I can have two on this adapter, but it will be nice to be able to swap these around a little bit. And I probably won't do it on this laptop, but on my other older ones, the Toshiba 500, Tecra 500 CDT, I'll probably do a maybe just a straight up DOS install with no Windows on that 512 meg disk, and maybe I'll install Windows ME on another one. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, get the cover back on, get everything put back together. Let's get Windows 98 installed on this thing, or Windows 98 SE I should say. Alright, I've got it all flipped back over and plugged in. Let us go ahead and start it up. We've got our Windows 98 SE boot disk in here. It's actually the right boot disk for the right system here, so that helps. I actually used this boot disk for Windows ME before, and it doesn't really matter that much, but it's just good to have the right one if you can help it. And we've got Windows 98 startup menu here, and of course we're going to do CD-ROM support. Now you may notice from the last time, if you watch my Windows ME installation video, I've got the screen stretch on now in the BIOS, and it doesn't do a perfect job. You can see there's still black bars on the sides and at the top and bottom, but it's much better than it was with the tiny picture in the middle of the screen. These laptops weren't quite as good as desktop monitors at scaling to different resolutions. So you might be wondering, why Windows 98 SE? Well, the biggest reason is Windows 98 is my favorite operating system, probably of early Windows at least. I love Windows 10, I liked Windows 7, all those are great, but early DOS-based Windows, Windows 98 SE is the best as far as most people are concerned, and it did have bug fixes from Windows 98. Original Windows 98 was actually pretty buggy, and so definitely we're going to do some F-disk here. So definitely this includes a lot of bug fixes, including Internet Explorer 5.0, including improved USB support, WDM audio, modem support, some other things. Basically just had better audio support. In other words, it was only released 9 months before Windows 2000, which actually was the kind of co-operating system with Windows ME. It's the Windows NT version. Anyway, basically it just has a lot of great bug fixes. It even has internet connection sharing, which allows you to share even a dial-up internet connection with another computer. So, all right, so we're going to enable large disk support for sure. We have a 16 gigabyte compact flash card in here, as I showed you earlier. So we're going to create a DOS partition, create primary DOS partition. We're going to use 100%. Looks like it already did that. That's weird. I definitely didn't create that, but maybe it did that on its own, or who knows. All right. Hopefully we set the active partition. It is already set to active. So it looks like all is well. So we're going to try and escape. We can do this from within Windows, but honestly, I would rather do it here in DOS just to make sure it works correctly. All right, yes, of course we want to continue with the format. Ooh, it's really, really fast. Oh, it's verifying bad clusters. Hopefully there weren't too many bad clusters. Now that's the important file allocation table. All right, so we're going to call this one like we did last time. Let's just do capital letters, Retro TV 1 Tech. Can we do that? I think we did it last time. Yeah. All right. There we go. Awesome. So we have basically 15 gigabytes by the time everything is said and done. And there we go. All right, so I think we're ready to install Windows 98 SE. And I'm going to put the CD in. Let's get started. All right, so the CD drive should be drive D. Let's see if we can get a directory on this thing. Looks good. All right, so we'll just do setup. You got to do that scan disk. That's important. So the text scaling is not great here. I guess I should have kept it where it wasn't stretched. But either way, you can still see what it says. I'll read it. Let's see. Congratulations on choosing Windows 98, the software that makes your computer more powerful, reliable, manageable, and entertaining. With Windows 98, you can connect to the internet quickly and easily, and Windows 98 is even easier to use than Windows 95. All right, let's go for it. That CD noise is incredible. All right, so we're going to go with a custom install here. Advanced users only. Again, sorry about the text. I don't want to go back and do all this again, but let's see. Desktop themes. Yeah, we definitely got to have that. We got all the, I don't really need multi-language support, but we've got all the space here. So I'm going to actually check all the multimedia. Let's see. Yeah, we want all that stuff. I don't know if we really want Shockwave, but I guess it'll help us with some things. All right, so let's get out of here. Online services. Sure, we won't be using those, but why not? Some of these are grayed out, which means that probably not everything's selected. Okay, yeah, we want all this stuff. I don't know that we'll actually use all of it, but why not? Web TV for Windows. 350 meg install. That's not bad at all. Okay, computer name can just be Retro TV 1. Work group. Retro. I don't have a work group. All right, of course we want the United States keyboard layout. United States. We're going to cancel. You already have one of those. Thank you so much. Remove the disk and click OK to continue setup. All right, here we go. We're going to start copying files. I'll skip a lot of this so you don't have to be bored by all of it, but I'll highlight some things along the way. I will definitely have to check out the Discover Windows 98 tour. So it says it's going to take 28 minutes. I'll let you know how long it actually takes. Windows just got better. Helps you get more out of your computer. By the way, I have used the regular camera on the phone here to get a little bit better picture than I had on the last video, but there is a little bit of banding on the screen, so I'm not sure which is better. Again, the weird text is something just the monitor's doing by scaling it not quite correctly. We're already at 6%. Easier to use, and this is the navigation features in the file manager and throughout the system back and forward. Makes it a little bit more, even favorites, makes it a lot more like, actually like the internet. And like Internet Explorer is actually baked right into File Manager. You can even use your desktop as a web page, or you can set a web page as your desktop. I don't think I can do it anymore, but back in the day you could do that. Oh, also they started with single click. You could actually, files turned into kind of like hyperlinks basically, and you could open files or programs with single clicks instead of a double click. And now most people will come back to double click. Built-in help system, Windows Update site. That was new in Windows 98 as well, Windows Update. All right, we are 2 minutes into the install. Check back in just a second. Of course, we know it connects you to the web. It's never been easier or faster than it was in 1998. Actually, Internet Explorer 5 really was a pretty great version of Internet Explorer. Of course, 5.5, 6, 7, all those different versions. And eventually, I think 11 or 12 was the last version before Microsoft Edge took over as the current Microsoft browser that most people don't use because most people use Chrome. Leave me a comment. Let me know what browser you use. A lot of people use Firefox as well, which is a great one. You can email family, meet face-to-face online. Little did they know how much we would be meeting face-to-face online back in 2020, right? Now they're claiming faster performance, dependability, registry checker. Yeah, the registry was introduced, of course, I believe in Windows 95. I think, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but the registry was one of the biggest problems you had to edit to get Windows working if it wasn't. System file checker, that's pretty interesting. Modified or corrupted system files, what a great concept. I don't think it always worked, but it worked, you know. Sometimes I remember it working. So a lot of times you had to reinstall Windows if there was a problem, but it was a good effort. More entertaining 2D and 3D graphics. Yeah, 3D graphics and accelerators came out during this time period. Voodoo Graphics and eventually NVIDIA, which is the current king of graphics. Support for DVD, MMX processors, all kinds of stuff. This is a Pentium 3 in this one, by the way. Better games, DirectX support was another improvement with Windows 98 SE. It had a newer version of DirectX, I believe 6.1. Wow, it supports more than 1,000 new printers and USB, which is really cool. This computer does have USB as well, and of course we still use USB. So yeah, USB was very revolutionary, and it's pretty amazing that we still use it 24, 25 years later. And here it talks about Windows Update. Let's see what it does now. 100% of the files copied, that's nice. Alright, so we are going to restart. We should see that really cool Windows 98. There it is, look at that, getting ready to run Windows for the first time. These startup screens were always such low resolution. They really weren't designed for higher resolution monitors like this. I think they were also run in DOS mode as well. Of course, we're not going to have sound until we install sound drivers, and we'll have to install video drivers and all that stuff. Windows probably won't auto-detect all that stuff. That's going to be my name. Do we accept the agreement? Of course we do. All right, product key. And again, these are not really a big secret. I mean, you can find them all over the internet anyway, but this is the one I have with this CD. My original Windows 98 CD stopped working, of course, a long time ago, but I had actually made a copy of it, which was good. There we go. The driver database, let's see how much it finds. And we are now about 12 minutes into the install. Of course, it took me a little bit longer because I had to find those drivers. Windows did not find any existing real mode PC card drivers either. Either you don't have any or you have drivers that Windows couldn't detect. Do you want to review your system files and select? No, we are good because we are not upgrading right now, so we're all good. To enable 32-bit support, click Finish. Yeah, we're definitely going to have 32-bit support here. It's been so long since I've done this. Actually, I don't think I've ever set up Windows 98 on a laptop, so I don't think I'd ever seen that. I remember, of course, this setup screen, very similar to Windows ME. But, yeah, see, we did this on Windows ME as well, detecting non-plug-and-play hardware. And again, sorry about the font. All right, restarting. So fast you almost didn't see the shutdown screen. With the compact flash memory, it's going to be a lot faster than if it was a regular old standard magnetic hard drive. You can see that little progress bar moving. If that ever stopped, then you knew Windows wasn't starting correctly. Then you had to go into safe mode. If anybody knows how to get rid of that banding effect, let me know. I've seen other YouTubers have it too, so I don't think I'm the only one, but it definitely is frustrating. It's getting the start menu set up. Awesome. There should be a lot more in this one than there was in Windows ME because I have a full amount of memory. On the compact flash, we can install everything. It's copying over this web TV thing. Let's see what happens with that. Whatever server that ran on probably isn't available anymore. We'll see. There's the awesome drum. So I stopped the video for a second, and this is definitely not moving, but the hard drive still has activity, so I think it's still doing something. But we are 20 minutes in right now, so the time that it actually said it would take is a little more accurate than what I thought, but it says 7 minutes remaining, so we'll see what happens. All right, about 1 minute remaining, and we are about 22 minutes on the install, and again, we can take off about 2 minutes, so 21 minutes it looks like. So a little bit faster than what they said, as long as we can get it restarted here in just a second. Looks like we're good. Let's see if it'll start Windows 98 for the first time. All right, total time was 23 minutes, so we'll say 21 minutes. Here it goes. I'm guessing we won't have any sound this time, but all right. So we don't really need a password right now. Let's see if it detects anything with the video card. Oh, it's just plug and play monitor. Yeah, so we'll get that updated. There's nothing in the floppy disk drive, so we're just going to look on the CD. How about that? I was going to say, yeah, Windows was 98 and 95 were so weird about that. Like, it knew where the driver file was, but it wouldn't ever find it. You could point it right to the file and say, there's no driver here. So that was probably the most frustrating part about these older systems. ME seemed like it was a little bit more confident with that kind of stuff when I installed it. So there's the desktop. Welcome to Windows 98. It's too bad I can't hear the sound, because this always does this really cool sound. It looks like we're still on 16 colors here, so I'm going to set hopefully this will start next time once I get all the sound and everything. Show this screen each time Windows starts. Yes, we're going to do that. So we're just going to close for right now and keep that checked. All right, we're going to use the ultra wide for a little bit to get rid of the banding on the monitor, but I've just plugged in a USB from Geek Squad, so it's finding drivers for it. So hopefully it will figure this out on its own. Unable to locate a driver. So Windows ME, it just worked. All right, so I have to do a little bit of a roundabout thing here. I need a new floppy to copy a USB mass storage driver from my modern computer to this computer. But I need to format it in this computer so this computer will read it. Ah, the joys of old computers. Fun times. Let's see if it'll do it. All right, we're going to try and install these USB drivers from the floppy disk here. See how that goes. Oh, only for a Windows 98 SE English. All right, well, there we go. That was fast. All right, I'm going to try and put the flash drive back in and see if it'll do something. Ah, there we go. Windows is building a driver information database. Yay, USB mass storage device. That's what we want. Now all I have to do is install the audio and video drivers from this USB. So it says we're still having trouble with this USB mass storage device driver here. Interesting. It's searching. Ah, there we go. Just have to remove and reinsert. All right, let's try now in my computer and see if we can get it. Yes. There we go. All right, first of all, we got to get this video fixed. It's driving me crazy. Setup. It's an S3 Savage system. All right, we're gonna. Oh, it says it doesn't even give me. Oh, there we go. I was gonna say it doesn't even give me an option. I am going to. Now let's do one thing at a time. Windows ME, I tried to do two at the same time, two things at the same time. Let's go ahead and just restart and see if we can get this to recognize the video card this time. All right, updating configuration. That's always a good sign. Ah, there it is. The S3 Savage. This should fix the weird text issues too, at least in Windows. All right, so we have to restart again. Yes! There we go. It's full screen and the picture is way better. There we go. Okay, so now we should be at full color now. So everything looks nicer. All right, so we're going to close that. Let's check our display settings and then we'll get the sound installed. All right, so plug and play monitor. Yes, high color. I don't think it'll do 30. Well, it will do 32-bit, but I don't think this monitor can display 32-bit. From what I read, yeah, we are 1024 by 768. It will do more, but I don't think this monitor, this laptop monitor, will do more. So we're just going to hit cancel. Removable disk is still there. Let's install the sound driver so we can get some music going. That's what I'm excited about. All right, so we got to restart the computer, and we should have sound when we restart. That'll be awesome. I don't know what it is about installing these drivers. It can be very frustrating, but it's kind of fun because you know it's just tinkering basically, which is what's fun about this for me. Just messing around with it, getting the right drivers in place, getting all the right pieces to the puzzle in place until finally everything works. All right, that's what we're really looking for. The audio drivers. There's a legacy sound. That's the Sound Blaster compatibility, which is important. Oh, and the game port, of course, even though we don't have a way to hook that up. Yeah. Awesome. Ready to remember this? You can't see back here, but I am jamming out right now. That is really cool. All right, I'm going to close that for now. Let's go back to my computer. I think we can actually hit the back button. Look at that. All right, let's go back to our removable disk. And the first thing we're going to play is Canyon.mid because it's amazing. Oh, here, we can turn this up a little bit. Yep, sounds amazing. And by the way, I was looking to see what version of Media Player this is. We'll just hit about. It is version 6. Yeah, because 7 came out with Windows ME. Let's change our desktop background. I think I can do that by properties. I'm going to use the ultra-wide lens for a second so you can actually see a little bit better. Oh, there's the Windows setup. That's kind of cool. That was the one that I'm most familiar with. This is the active desktop one, I believe. You can set as this is like a example of setting a web page as your desktop. So here we go. The wallpaper you selected can be shown on desktop only if active desktop is enabled. Absolutely. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. Windows 98 blue there. I love it. Let's play one more sound effect. Passport. That's awesome. All right, so next thing I want to try is some games, of course. Let's try Duke 3D because it worked on Windows ME, so it should work here, but we should be able to do it with the same settings. Everything should be the same, so let's just go for it. Oh yeah, we may have to fix the IRQ conflict like we did last time. Dum dum dum. If you're wondering how I got this working last time, I actually have to change this setting to 7, but I think I'll have to change to a different configuration. Let me see. I have to change the interrupt request to 7, but it's not allowing me to change it right now. Oh, there we go. Now I can do it. All right. We're going to go to 7. And we have to disable the printer port to make that work. Yes, I want to continue. Okay, now we have to go disable the printer port. There we go. So the fact that that's now disabled should mean that there's no more conflict here now. Okay, here we go. All right, I was just looking at all those numbers. 330, this one right here is what we want for Duke Nukem for that type of thing. But I do feel like I need to go back into the setup for Duke 3D and just verify that everything is good. All 32, everything should be good. All right, and the music card should be the sound canvas, port 330. All right, so let's try this now. Fingers crossed. Yes. Still sounds so amazing. Alright, well, looks like it's working pretty well. That soundtrack's so incredible. I actually want to see if I can go into regular DOS mode. See what happens there. Alright, so if you remember, you have to do shutdown and then you have to do restart in MS-DOS mode. And Windows ME does not have that feature, and that is one of the big reasons that I want, or that I wanted to install Windows 98 SE so I'd have real DOS mode on this computer. Not just a DOS window. So now we're actually in DOS, which is cool. Oh, but see, I can't. Oh, I should have copied those things over. Whoopsie. Alright, so I need to copy everything from the USB drive over because there is no USB support in DOS. So let's go back to Windows. Just type win because, you know, Windows is winning, right? That was awesome. We can listen to this a little louder now. Actually got pretty good bass. I know it's got a subwoofer, but this is really cool. Love it. All right, so I'm going to make a folder. I probably can take that CD out of there so it doesn't have to search for it all the time, but let's make a folder here. All right, everything's copied over. I have Doom on here, and I really want to try it, but I do want to do setup here real quick. Okay, so we've got music sound card, sound canvas, yep. Sound effects card, we're just going to go with a sound blaster. Yep, all that stuff is good. Okay, let's see if Doom will work from here. It sounds incredible on this as well. Looks incredible too. Wow. New game. I'm too young to die. But listen to the music when I start this. Oh, I don't have sound effects. I need to check that. Isn't that cool though? The guitar actually sounds like a guitar on this. So much better than the MIDI, the old ad-lib Sound Blaster sound. So yeah, I'm not sure why I don't have sound effects, but this game was so mind-blowing when it came out. It was really true 3D, even though it looks so primitive by today's standards. Let's see what went wrong with the sound effect. I thought I just selected Sound Blaster. 227, DMA channel 1. Yeah, that should be right. I'll try it one more time. There we go. There we go. It's weird to, like, you know, see the gunfire and have no, like, noises. And all those sound effects are important too. Oh my. I forgot about that. Okay, now that we have everything on the hard drive, now we are going to restart. So let's check how much memory we have left here. 585. That's not bad, actually. There is a sound utility, and I've got to figure out how to do all that. I may not do that in this video, but let's see what I can do. And under Yamaha, I believe there is something I can do to get this set up here. Set up DS. Ah, there we go. Okay. Legacy audio enable. Okay. Looks like everything's good there. right, let's see a sound test. Cannot detect interrupt. Yeah, I sure don't hear anything. I may have to do something else before to get that work. Let's exit without saving. Okay. Ah. Well, that worked. Ah, okay. We got something working there. Not sure how I got that working, but it's working. Alright, that little configuration utility is still pretty buggy, but I did get sound to work in DOS games finally. Here's test drive 3. Sounds great. And this is just Sound Blaster emulation, basically. Luckily, we can just type whatever we want here. It's so fast! Oh! That is kind of fun, actually, yeah. No, I don't want to press F6. I'm almost back on the road. You're not going to catch me, police officer. My processor is way too fast. It's a new one, right? I'm probably going to... I can't believe I haven't crashed yet. My... Okay, there we go. Famous last words. All right, let's get out of this. See if I can get some sound in Commander Keen. All right. Yeah, there we go. I just messed around enough that it worked. And I'll mess around a little more later. Yep. There we go. Definitely not used to controlling this stuff with the joystick. I love the pogo stick. Ooh. Don't hurt me, Mr. Smiley Face Guy. Yay. Let's see if pinball works. Should be the same. But it isn't. It probably would work better from Windows, I think. Let's see, setup. Sound Blaster Pro. IRQ7. All that fun stuff. Exit save. Let's see if it'll work now. No, so this one doesn't work outside of Windows. I knew it worked in Windows before, but that's all good. Yeah, some of this stuff is still pretty buggy, but we'll work on it and we'll make sure we get it working in the future. I wonder if Duke 3D works. I bet the sound doesn't work outside of Windows. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yep, so we have, definitely doesn't work outside of Windows right now just because of the way we have it set up. All right, I did some tinkering and I had to get some, I had to get a new file for this little program here, a new INI file, but looks like we're good. Wow, beautiful. Let's see about, okay, let's see if, what about Sound Blaster? That definitely worked. Yeah. Good. All right, so we should be able to save and exit now with all of that good to go. And everything is good. Wow. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's see if pinball works now. Oh, yeah. Nice. Android. Ooh, it was really slow there, wasn't it? It worked. Sound effects on this are so fun. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of that. It's hard to see the game around the camera, being honest. Ooh, there you go. Let's see if we can get Quake working. A lot of this stuff honestly works just as well or better even in Windows. Yeah, that seems to be locked up, so that's fine. We'll try that one in Windows. All right, here we go. Yep. Wow. Right, I'm going to go to options, video options, and I think we can actually set this to full resolution on the computer. We can do 800 by 600. We can't do 1024 by 768, but that's okay. That actually looks really, really good. But it's a little bit laggy. Alright, let's just try it. Oops, I don't want to quit. Oh, it's actually not laggy. Wow. That really looks nice. I don't know if that's coming across on here or not. Hard to see because it's so dark in here, but the graphics are really, really good. Apparently I can jump. Alright, let's see. That does look hard. Alright, let's just go normal. I guess we just go in here and then we're on normal skill. Look at that. This is the first episode. It's been way too long since I played this game. Okay. And one more thing I want to try on here is Descent. Let's see, maybe I put in a different folder here. There we go. Okay, so... Perfect. Yes, music card. Perfect. Exit. Save. Alright, now we should be able to load the game. Maybe? Yes, listen to that. So this is using the Yamaha sound chip to the fullest of its ability. There's a lot of story elements here I'm going to skip through. It's a lot of reading. They really wanted kids to read through all this stuff. It's great for your reading practice, right? Mom, I read a novel on this game. Alright. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Gotta remember the controls for this thing. I'm also, like, firing at things. Spacebar. Spacebar. Hey, he's gonna get me. That's fun. Wow, I'm really bad at that. Yeah. Let's try that again. There, I got him that time. Yeah, I don't remember. I know this game. I did not play it very much back in the day, so I don't really know what to do. You can leave a comment and let me know. Alright. I'll have to practice. Still sounds amazing. Definitely a little ahead of its time, for sure. Well, that's all for now for this Windows 98 installation and exploration video on this Toshiba Satellite 2805 S401 laptop. These are amazing machines for retro games, and so if you ever see a 2805 S401 or S402 on eBay or any other retailer, definitely grab it because they are amazing, and it will really bring back the nostalgia you have for playing all these retro games in your childhood growing up if you grew up when I did. So I hope some of the troubleshooting I showed on the video was helpful. If you do have a machine like this, maybe it'll help you to get these games running on this amazing machine. I truly enjoy using it. It really stacks up well, even against modern machines with the vibrant display and everything else. And of course, the sound chip is absolutely incredible. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. So for now, enjoy that tech and keep it retro.